So hello, welcome once again. We're here doing another XCL race here at Barcelona. I've just sat myself down. I guess just joining the lobby a few minutes before it's about to go live. The lobby's usually open all day long if you want to just drop in, do a bit of testing earlier in the day to try and get the most from the event itself. Venturing out last time at Watkins Glen, things didn't go particularly well. I ended up in I wouldn't say a first lap incident, a second lap incident where I guess it was just unfortunate really, coming round the long right hander, and I just didn't really have anywhere to go. As you'll see from the little clip, I'll try and show a little clip of what happened. But yeah, things didn't go very well. So yeah, I'm not going to feature that race. I think I came in about 26th out of the full grid. So a poor effort really. Hopefully tonight things will be a little bit different. I think I need to take a different approach, be a little bit more aggressive on the start, try not to lose so many positions off the start by, I guess, trying to avoid first lap incidents really. But I think through being overcautious, I lost a number of positions on lap 1. I think I went from 4th to 9th in lap 1, and it's going to be very hard to get those positions back even if you settle into a rhythm. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more aggressive here tonight, I think. But yeah, I'm going to try and take part in qualifying, and I'll come back to you with the setup and everything once we get into the main race. So join me shortly. Looking at qualifying, not a lot in it. Faster in different places. It's definitely quicker through the back section, but I'm running lower rear wing for this race just to try and be more aggressive on this long straight. It's literally the only place to overtake, so I just wanted to give myself a chance to possibly do some overtaking down that long straight. 53 litres of fuel on board. There is the setup that we're running. It's not 100% stable, but I did a session earlier which was 100% stable, no spin outs, nothing, and yes, I beat the AI, but it just felt like there were no dramas. It felt like I should run less rear wing. I was quicker running less rear wing, but I guess you just have to be a bit more careful with how you're throwing the car into the corners, managing tyre slip and stuff like that. I've not done a recce into the pits in this session, so we'll see where we are positioned when we fly into the pit on our stop.
30 seconds.
Not sure when I'm going to do my stop, but let's just get things ready. Just 1 litre of fuel. Just behind Cozy Learner, and it's going to be balls out. I'm just going to be pushing this race, I think. I don't expect anything to be given. Everyone's competitive in the lobbies now, especially at the sharp end of the grid. It's going to be a tough race. So let's get underway. Try and get that temperature in the tyres. It's the rear tyres really. So I'm going to drop that brake balance all the way back. It is such a long formation lap at this speed. It's such a slow speed that we go on. I wish it would be much quicker. Don't really know Cozy Learner. Not really someone that I've seen in the lobbies, public lobbies that often. I don't think I've ever met him in a public lobby, to be honest. Definitely see a number of other drivers. Not sure who else we've got on the grid. Whether I'll do a commentary over this, I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to try and really focus on my race, so I'm not going to be giving commentaries all throughout. I think I'll just be really focused, trying to deliver a better performance than last time. If that means saying nothing and leaving it all to myself in the commentary room, so be it. I just want to be better than I performed last time and just not be a sitting duck. Attack positions, defend positions. Struggling to get that temperature. Although we're at 26.5, just the other side of the car really, the side that's going to get hottest. Don't want to get the tyres too hot so they're outside the window of grip. Anything above really 27 you really start to feel that slippage. So let's get the brake balance back to 57. So just coming on board to do a bit of commentary. Jay's definitely going to be focused on the race in hand. So as mentioned at the start of the race, I thought I would just do the commentary after the event, talk you through the laps. At least we've got temperature in the tyres. So yeah, the left hand side of the car is struggling just to get the right temperatures above, really kind of want to be above 26 when you start in a race. So the right hand side's not too bad. Let's get ready to go. But the left hand side of the car just missing a bit of grip. Obviously the right hand side tyres as well. Outside temperature, you can see that in the dashboard display, 2 blue sections. So starting out the race then, just trying to defend from the rear from the Lamborghini coming up the inside left hand side. Already took a tap at the rear, very aware of the other car coming alongside, the other Ferrari. Cozy learning, just inching ahead, using that radar, just looking at where the other car is, trying to give him enough room on the inside.
Clear on the right.
So I know I've cleared him now, so just trying to pull away from him. Really going to fight for positions in this race. I don't want to just get bogged down like I did in the last race and really start to, I guess, just fear other drivers and making some sort of contact, losing performance from the car. I'm not quite sure if the little tap from the Lamborghini at the rear of the car has caused any kind of damage at all, but for now the car feels pretty good still. Details of track position always seem to be not quite right. Currently in 3rd position as it says up there in the top left corner, but you can clearly see I'm in 2nd place. Always nervous starting out these races, not wanting to make too many mistakes and just trying to get your eye in. I always look like I'm really sort of leant back in the seat, I think, like I'm actually feeling some kind of G-forces, but I really do find it helps just keep my physical position in the seat comfortable and I don't start leaning too far forward. So round to lap 1 then, picking up not the fastest lap. I think I've currently had fastest lap, but spent quite a bit of time on this setup earlier in the day trying to find the sweet spot. I ran a few 10-minute sessions really with the AI to see how the car felt over a 10-minute session, and I think I completed 1 full half-an-hour stint. Couple of guys in the pits just to understand where the fuel usage was going to be. So you can see the left hand side of the car getting much hotter now, and just that front right tyre, I ended up closing out the brake duct to try and get that tyre into its right window 80 degrees really what we're looking for, but very hard to influence one tyre over the other, and you can see 96 degrees in the other tyre, so really wanting to stay under 100 degrees on the left hand side front tyre, but trying to get the right hand side tyre into that window is quite a battle sometimes. So a number of guys then already pitted, so I think I make the fatal error really in staying out behind Cozy Learner. I think once I'd realised that he's going to be a difficult opponent to overtake, I should have pitted now really. Maybe yeah, I reckon now I should have pitted, which would have probably kept me in a better track position, or I should have stopped on the first round of pit stops when the first section of drivers came in. It's very hard to think where to pit because I don't want to really leave my pit stop too late. And almost missed that overcut, but in the same instance it depends how late Cozy Learner was going to pit. So it's very hard to determine when the best time is to actually take a pit stop. So Cozy Learner is definitely one of the fastest guys I've raced against in XCL. Always seems to be topping out the leaderboard quite considerably, especially when we come to the hot laps. But obviously using the McLaren, it is somewhat overpowered at the moment. Especially on the hot lap sessions anyway, but I do feel under braking I seem to really gain on Cozy Learner through this section. Whether he brakes, I don't know what the issue is with braking for that one corner, but it really does seem to trouble him, I think. But the rest of the lap is absolutely mighty, so I seem to make up most of my time through there. Really was hoping to reduce some of the rear wing usage, getting very deep on the brake there, so really ruin coming out onto this back straight. I just don't get a good run at all. But I really was hoping by reducing the amount of aero that I'm running, need to find a better place to pit on the rear wing that I could get some sort following of, Cozy Learner isn't helpful, some sort of overtake down this long back straight, which was the whole reason really why I chose to run less rear wing. And then obviously you get a little bit of instability at the rear of the car, so as I kind of discussed later in the video, adding maybe one more click of rear wing might have been a better option. But 24 minutes into the race, you can see a couple of other guys pitting. Number 87 car just coming out of the pits. It really would be nice to have some sort of graphic or understanding really as to where you're going to come out in this train of cars if you decide to pit. It'd be really nice to have like a virtual pit sort of indicator. Very hard to probably implement, but I guess that's what all these guys get paid for in the Formula 1 teams, working out exactly where you're going to come out if you do pit. But trying to navigate the circuit and figure that out is very difficult. I was kind of just looking at the mid corner there where 78 is, where I might actually come out. It's a very quick stop with just 1 litre of fuel going in, just a 3-second stop. Might be worth in future trying to gauge how much time pulling into the pit and coming out actually is, to be able to try and work out these kind of things on the fly really. Yeah, really enjoying still what XCL has to offer with the races throughout the week and the hot laps on the weekend. I'm not sure if my time with Forza Motorsport is completely over just yet. I just think the way the cars feel through my wheel and pedals, I guess not particularly through the pedals but through the wheel. I was talking to another member or another subscriber to the channel, I think it's Chili Soup, but we were discussing the force feedback, and I think if I dial down the load sensitivity on my wheel in Forza to around 10 on the gauge, I get absolutely zero force feedback on just one setting. So it really does concern me that one thing actually reduces the force feedback sensitivity completely on just one setting. You know, there's never really a sense of grip on Forza Motorsport. There's always that sense of understeer when you're losing grip, but that's literally just a load through the wheel. And once that's gone, I just don't feel anything. It's not particularly a great game for force feedback through my Fanatec wheel. So getting as close as I could possibly get then to Cozy Learner through turn 1. Managing to pick up fastest lap. And I think that stays fastest lap of the entire race from here in. 1:43.9. So I guess we'll see when I pull in the pit as to whether I actually took any damage with that first lap. Sort of tiny shunt on the start-finish straight, just defending the Lamborghini as mentioned earlier. But the tyres staying in a good window, I think, just under the 100 degrees. Considering I think track temperature is about 32 degrees. As you can see, I'm still doing my usual 9 and 1 in the Ferrari, the traction control. I think Cozy Learner probably using a little bit more on the brake pedal through that turn now. Really not sure if I come in on this lap. This is the first time actually watching the race replay back. So yeah, definitely coming in. Trying to carry as much speed through there, but very bumpy on the entrance. Braking just under the board, get the car slowed down 50 just before the line. And obviously taking no damage, 3.2 second stop. Just happened to have someone sat in the box in front of my pit stop. How annoying is that? Jesus Christ. So very awkward coming into the pit. You can see the BMW with a terrible front bumper, front bonnet up. So that's a stop done. And I was thinking coming out just so where we're going to pull out 78 car, which is a really good guess, I think. That's not a bad guess at all. So defending as soon as we come out of the pits. Tyres cooled just slightly. I think as soon as they're into that 25 PSI window, that you really do start to lose that sense of grip. So luckily enough, just managing to maintain 26 PSI. The other McLaren just there, just running a little bit wide, wasn't sure where he was coming back on. Oh, and I really did think he was just going to ram right into the side of me coming into there. Really using that rear view mirror a lot. A very scary moment. So yeah, I need to be absolutely on it now. These are the moments where hammer time gets mentioned to Lewis. It's all about maintaining good speed. Obviously we know Cozy Learner's got no one in front of him, although he's coming up on 385, the back marker. So he's having to contend with traffic as well. So the Porsche here also just running wide. Thankfully using his mirrors before coming back on the circuit. It's not been too bad a run, to be honest, for me in this race. I know a lot of people in the Discord after the race complained of a number of incidents, especially into turn 1. Turn 1 was quite a bit of carnage looking at some of the footage after the race, but I really didn't have many incidents where I felt impeded by other drivers that weren't obviously battling for position. So yeah, I think just running that little bit less rear wing just makes you more concerned about carrying too much momentum through the corner, scrubbing those rear tyres. So just looking to see if I'm battling for position, and this guy in front he's still yet to stop. So considering he's fairly far back, because obviously if I've stopped he's still running, so I'm not quite sure where he is really on his lap speed until I cross the start finish line as to gauge whether he's battling for position, or obviously once he's done his stop he might be down in 20th position. So it's very hard to tell. Obviously I've done my stop, so hopefully we see his lap time as he crosses the start finish line. But definitely still battling for position. Excuse me. So there, as we cross the line then he's running a 47, so I know straight away that
Please don't
he's
hold
not
me
really he's not in position, but I've still got to get past him. Please don't hold me up, Jay says. Anytime I lose behind this car really is going to impede, so I need to be fast past him as soon as I can really.
Clear on the right. Yellow flag.
Really thankful that it didn't put up too much of a battle and come up the inside there. I think as a back marked driver, it is really important to look at the lap times, especially the guys around you, knowing whether you're actually battling with that person. Obviously I'm lapping 3 seconds a lap quicker. It's not really the battle with me that you're trying to have really. Obviously once you've done your stop you're going to be a miles behind, so it really is better for both parties really just to get on with their own race, let the faster driver past, and just, if anything, learn from the lap or the car positioning that the driver in front's doing. Obviously you can see the other driver a long way back really now, just through a few corners. So I often find that quite disheartening when you see you kind of up 0.2 on your delta or 0.1, and obviously that's from the previous session you did prior to your pit stop. So as soon as you come back out, your fastest lap kind of resets, which I wish wasn't really the case, to be honest.
We're settling into a rhythm now.
Going a little bit deep through the corner there. 12 minutes left. Coming up on two other drivers. Pretty close proximity. Just up ahead. And then we've got quite a nice gap. Couple of drivers in the pits. Number 83 car. I think he's still in the pit from earlier really.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Just focus on that delta.
I guess that's all you can focus on really as a driver. You're just trying to better your lap time every lap, or at least trying to stick close to your fastest lap, and then you know you're pushing as hard as you can on each lap.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
So hopefully start seeing slightly lower lap times this lap, unless we start catching this other pack. So yeah, just seeing whether I'm battling with this guy or not, and obviously he's still yet to do his stop, so he should be some way behind really.
Yellow flag is sector 1.
Really wanting to just get past as soon as I can. Closing that door. I'm really not battling with this guy at all. Trying not to waste time again, just want to get past. Oh, so tight on the brake. Just wanted to stay as close to him as I can and just try and get this move done as soon as I can down this long back straight. So again, as he comes across the line, doing a 1:48.4. Obviously 4 seconds away from really where I want to be.
Clear on the right.
So glad he sort of braked a little bit earlier. Didn't have to battle too much into turn 1, but very much out of position. Lost loads of time. If you think I've lost 4 seconds on that one lap, just behind that one driver, so it really does make a huge difference to whether you can win and lose a race just behind one driver. I think we lost 3 seconds behind the other driver, so 7 seconds really in total. Traffic does play a huge
Yellow
part,
flag is sector 1.
it really does. Which is so important why you need to get past blue flag drivers or any opponent really. You kind of just hope as you approach with the drivers that they'll do their pit stop. But obviously you can see the other 2 drivers ahead, although they are blue flagged, they've done their pit stops.
Watch out.
So the guy just up ahead then, doing a 1:55 as well, 1:45. So if we're lapping similar lap times, it's going to be a number of laps before I even catch him. Currently in P4. So the drivers ahead must have had incidents. But just wondering really where Cozy Learner decides to take his pit stop. 7 minutes to go. And he's starting to approach other drivers, so I'd assume as soon as he gets really on the back of these other drivers, he's not going to want to lose time, and he'll start to think about taking his pit stop.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Which I guess is really one of the things that influences when you take your pit. If you're starting to reach the back of the tail end of the pack, now would be the time to start pitting. So that really is what's going to determine your pit stop as the lead driver when you start approaching the back of the pack. But obviously it's a very broken pack. There's cars literally on every section of the circuit at the minute. But we'll see once more as we cross the start finish line.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
Hopefully back into the 144s. And the guy in front in 146. So second and a half a lap quicker. Now into P3 with one driver in the pits, I think. So if we take where Cozy Lena is now, 787 car just on the corner, I think if he pulls in the pit when I am at that corner, it's a very close chance that we'll be coming out very close together. So 5 minutes left of the race. Like I said, he's catching the other drivers just up ahead. So just looking at the track map up on the left hand side there, the triangular car looks like he's coming in the pit, and I am literally on that corner. So this is really going to give us an understanding as to trying to gauge where you might come out if you're thinking of entering the pit. So I don't think he's reached his pit box just yet. I don't think he's ever been stationary yet. So just hitting his pit box then now. The other car takes the lead driver. Just coming out of the pit. Just up ahead there we can see him just leaving the pit lane. Staying all the way in the white line, which is what is suggested. And I really just didn't know where to put the car here. Just wanted to get past these guys as quickly as I could. Obviously 2 back markers. They're having their own battle of their own, and it's very hard to get in between this. But I really do need to be making tracks. Thank you so much, Pippo. Cheers, man.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Really don't want to be up on that curb, the inside curb. So Dirtiest Drunk then in P1. I'm assuming Dirtiest Drunk is going to take his pit stop this lap. I think he was quite late into the race, I think, but a good driver as well, and come across Dirtiest Drunk a number of times in online races. Always have some good battles. So he's just in the pits then now, so I'm assuming he'll come out quite a way down the grid order, to be fair.
Yellow flag, watch out.
So going past the pit lane then, Cozy Leonard moves back into P1, myself into P2, and we've got a gap of 2 seconds. So front right tyre just falling outside that window again. And something I've been looking at more and more often, really, closing out them brake ducts just to try and retain some of the heat in the tyre. So the other driver getting out of the way of Cozy Learner, hoping I'll get the same. Thank you very much.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag in sector 1.
I sometimes end up battling with backmarker drivers, especially online. Seem to think they're in the same race despite being maybe a lap down. Just getting a little bit more tentative around that corner. It's one corner that always seems to feel like you've got very little grip. So this is possibly the last lap of the race.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Leaders can fight.
Final lap of the race then. A long way to make up, but obviously you can see there we've got that lap time down to 1.4 seconds. Just a small error from Cozy Learner and that could be P1. So everything's still to battle for. It's not over till it's over.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, just getting out of control.
Just a light damage.
A very scary moment. Can only push so hard. Think I'll take P2. Yeah, I definitely don't think there's any need to push anymore, Jay. I don't think you're going to get that back. And P3, Galbinski, a good 13 seconds away. So no need to push too hard. But a really cracking race.
Yellow flag. Be careful there.
Maybe next time.
Has finished the race. Excellent job, man. P2. Well managed. Bring it back home safely.
I'm sure I'll just try and catch up here with Cozy Learner that runs off into the distance. Just to give him the usual flash. Good race. You can use the on and off, or you could actually use the L on the keyboard, which is already assigned for lights. Just try and catch up with Cozy Learner and give him a flash. Slightly disappointed I didn't save any of the highlights from this race. I was too busy looking at other things. Just pull the car over here. 6.7 litres of fuel left in the car then. So I could definitely empty out a good 5 litres. Maybe 48
Good
litres.
race, man.
Good race. So just a few wayward moments really. Cozy Learner's lap times, or he had a few wayward moments himself. I guess just getting stuck in traffic. A couple of back markers could have made all the difference, just choosing when to take that pit stop. But really enjoyed that battle. Hopefully I've given a better showing of myself. Pity I couldn't have been just across the line from Cozy Learner. Let's see what Cozy's got to say. Good game. Yeah. Good race, man. So let's see what the rest of the leaderboard looked like. Dirtiest Drunk, another guy always bumping into Dirtiest Drunk in the lobbies, just the normal lobbies. Mazinger, not seen him really since my first race with XCL. And Springsphere still hanging in there. He's definitely getting quicker. I've seen him a long time ago now. And D Trickle, I'm assuming he's doing the channel. But yeah, good race. Really enjoyed that. But you'll see the setup. Let's just have a quick look. If we can just go into the setup and just have a look at the tyres. I think we've just missed it. So no graining at all, tiny bit of light graining on that front right tyre. But not looking too bad, probably. Yeah, it's hard to tell whether there's a lot of wear on that rear right tyre. Much more so than the rear left tyre. Maybe worth just dropping the camber a little bit more on that rear right tyre. That seems to really get nailed. And I don't know why really. So lowering the camber really on that rear right tyre might be a thing. I might just drop that camber a little bit on that rear right. Might be a little bit better for longer runs. Plenty of fuel still left in the car. I think at about 747 litres, something like that. But I'll just save that again. Quite happy with how much fuel we had in the car. And it was a tiny bit loose at the rear, but maybe one more click of rear wing would have been better. Just a bit more stability. Bit more confidence at the rear of the car, overall grip. But yeah, I think the replay's just going to be sat in the garage, yeah. So unfortunately no replay footage from that race. It's a bit of a downer. But yeah, good battle. So that's that for this evening. Really enjoyed that race. Thank you very much, Cozy Learner, for putting up a good fight. There's definitely no way I think I'd have got past him. He was pretty quick on the straight. A couple of braking areas where I seemed to be a little bit quicker, probably making up my time in the braking areas, but I think he had a little bit more grip through the corners, which was causing me a few problems just following him as well. I don't think I'd have got the overtake here. It's so hard to get past unless you've got that speed down the start finish straight, or someone makes a little error in front of you and you can capitalize on it. But maybe I'd have pipped him in the pit stops. Just a couple of guys that I got caught up behind throughout the race. Maybe if I'd have not been behind them, but everyone was racing for position, but so by no means should they just jump out the way. A couple of drivers that moved, very much appreciated. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the setup. Hope it works well for you. I hope you manage to have some competitive races with it. Until next time, ciao for now.